Hey everybody, today we're going to be working with some red wine vinegar. The recipe today is going to be a pork recipe with some peppers, red onion. It's going to come out really well, tastes great. It's one of my personal go-to recipes, and it just has a lot of different flavor and really no extra calories. Alright, we've got a olive oil cooking spray, so it's really little to no calories here. Just spray the pan, nice and quick, don't need too much. Turn on the pan, have it all the way on high. Get the onions. Once it's nice and hot, throw that in there, the peppers. Take your tongs. You don't need tongs, spatula, fork, whatever. Alright, you're just going to start mixing it up. Woo! Pepper overboard. Take some kosher salt, spread it on over. A little bit of black pepper. We're going to actually add some of that red wine vinegar now. So you're just going to add a hefty amount. Don't go light. It's a lot of flavor, but it needs to get soaked up. A lot of it cooks off. You can save a couple calories if you want to skip this step, or if you don't have any sugar, add that over the top. The sugar really helps caramelize, sweeten the onions, and really each teaspoon of sugar is 15 calories. Just going to keep cooking it through, keep it stirring. If you need to re-add more red wine vinegar, go for it. You should see the peppers and onions really start to soften up. So part of what you'll learn as you go along is just taste as you go. So obviously, as long as it's not like uncooked meat or something, you can really, should be tasting what you're making every now and then. And so, I've got a little pepper. It's pretty good. It needs to cook a little bit longer. Right amount of salt, and that's really personal preference. So, you can add some salt, add some pepper, add more red wine vinegar, add some more sugar. You kind of play it by ear. Now to cook the pork. So we have two nice center cut pieces of pork here. Pretty lean, got the thin layer of fat on the outside, but they're pretty thick. You'll see that they're really about an inch, a little inch and a half of thickness. That's going to help get a nice sear on the outside, but also keep the moisture nice and juicy on the inside. I've got some kosher salt here. I really prefer it over regular salt. It does make a pretty significant difference, and it's pretty cheap, so this might be something worth picking up. Alright, so we're going to take this, I'm going to put it over the pork, then pat it in, kind of help get it in there. As well as the salt, we're going to use just a little pepper. And again, just hit the pepper on the other side. Remember, some of this is going to cook off too. Get your spray, give it a quick. Make sure that pan is nice and hot. You don't want to just turn the pan on and start putting things in it. Laying that pork away. Let that pork cook nice and long on one side, high heat. We want it searing. Give it about a minimum of 2 minutes on this side. Give it a little nudge around, make sure it's not burning, sticking to the bottom. So now it's been about 3 minutes. We're going to take it, put it on the other side. And this is, again, personal preference. You put a little garlic on there. A little garlic over here. Get it around on that side. Now we've got a couple bunches of thyme. We're going to throw that on top. Really want to just add these bad boys. Kind of put them on, flick them around. Keep the pork moving. Make sure you don't add the thyme or garlic too early, because that flavor of burnt garlic can be really overpowering to a recipe. Now be patient. It's tempting to just flip and flip. But you don't want to do that. You want to get that sear. You want that nice crisp on the edges. All right, now we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it back. Boom. Now we've got that thyme, we've got these, that garlic's cooking. You can take that thyme, put it back on top. If you want, get a little bit more kosher salt. And you'll notice now that it's cooked, it doesn't really stick the same way it did before, and that's okay. We've got this nice crispy sear along the edge, but we don't have it on all the corners. And remember that meat had that nice fatty side on the edge. As you can see right here, that meat has a nice fatty side. Down, get it cooked. That's going to be crispy, delicious. Same thing. Now, if you're new to this, if you're not exactly sure how your oven works, what works best, you can always just cheat and cut in instead of using thyme. Look at that, just a little bit of pink in the middle, and that's fine. With pork, it's not like chicken. You don't need to be scared of a little bit of pink. That means, you know, it's going to be nice and moist. All right, so we've got some serving of those peppers and onions from before. And now you actually want to let that pork sit for just a little bit. So all the juices are inside flowing. If you were to cut into it right now, you just have a very watery plate, and that's a great sign. We seared it, we wanted it, but we actually want that moisture to stay locked in. So if you let it sit for a minute, even a little bit more, still let it stay hot, that moisture is going to get trapped inside a little bit better versus if you were just cut into it right away. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I really want to do more of these videos, but I need to make sure people want to see them. Also, be sure to comment if there's certain things you have, things you want to know, things you specifically want me to talk about. And of course, I'll be happy to share those answers. Comes out good, and I shouldn't use any of this, but you know, I can always cut myself off. This is so much harder than I thought it would be. We're gonna have some extra stuff. It's all falling off the rails now. I gotta stop saying so much.
Also, don't look over there.
Okay.
Because they can't see what's over there.
Yeah. What about here? Can they, if I
Nope.
like? Nope.
Can't see anything over there.
Stay looking over here.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to my very first cooking video. The video is over here, you can't see it, that's why I keep looking over there. Rain in Spain falls gently on the plain. You're recording, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.